Can I start the presentation, please? Okay, so this morning I would like to highlight about the cardiologist point of view regarding to the Asian Free Trade area by the end of 2015. So I would like to highlight what is the Asian Free Trade area and what is the Asian economic community and how the current condition of health systems in Asian countries, especially in Indonesia, and the latest policies and measures towards the Asian Free Trade area by the end of 2015. The AFTA, or the Asian Free Trade Area, is the trade bloc agreement by the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, which is supporting local manufacturing in all Asian countries. This agreement has already signed on January 1952 in Singapore and will be implemented by the end of 2015. The objective of the AFTA is to increase the Asian region's competitive advantages as a production base here for the world market. And the most important thing is the step which is directed to the liberalization trade through the elimination of tariff or non-tariff barriers among the Asian members. Okay, what is the important things of the AFTA, especially if you're looking at the Asian Framework Agreement on Service, or AFAS, which is directed to minimize obstacles for foreign service providers and border service providers in Asian regions. We know 4 modes of supply. Number 1 is cross-border supply. Number 2 is consumption abroad. And then commercial reason, the last is the reason of number of persons. If you're looking at the Asian Economic Community Blueprint, which is very important in terms of geographic part of the World Trade Growth Corridor, Asia is poised to a seize of the moment. And if you're looking at the data, with the market over 600 million people, which the combined GDP is nearly $3 trillion. This is, in fact, that ASEAN is offering a future prosperity and stability. So where do we stand now? If you're looking at the blueprint of Asian Economic Community by 2007, the Asian Economic Community will establish the Asian as a single market and production base with the goal of making Asian more dynamic and competitive. We know 4 pillars of the Asian Economic Community. Number 1 is single market and production base. Number 2, competitive and economic regions. Number 3, equitable economic development. And number 4, the integration into the global economy. What is the impact of the health sectors? So, single market and production base. We know the 5 core elements. Number 1, a free flow of goods. Number 2, free flow of services, including the health services. Free flow of investment, capital, and the last, free flow of skill labor, including the healthcare professionals. It has already progressed since a couple of years ago. By 2011, there is a pilot program of Asian self-certification system. Then the important thing regarding to the professionals, the healthcare professional, is the MRAs, the mutual recognition arrangement, which is conducted in 8 professionals, including the healthcare professional, the medical professional, the dental professional, as well as the nurse. It is actually initiated by the WTO, the Globalization for the Medical and Dental Practitioners. Then, in the region of ASEAN, starting with the AFAS, then we have the Healthcare Service Sector Working Group, which is led by Singapore. Then we have 3 joint coordinating committees. Number 1 is the medical practitioner, number 2 dentistry, and the last one, AGCCM, is for the nursing. Once it has already, once it's implemented, it should be registered to the Indonesian Medical Council as well as the Ministry of Health. So what is the means? What does the single integrated ASEAN means? The Asian Economic Community, which will be implemented by the end of this year, is targeted for the ASEAN as the world production base and provide a regional market for 600 Asian people. The free trade area for goods, capital, and services. If you're looking at this publication, is very, very interesting because the MRA for nursing, which is initiated in 2005, then 2009, followed by the medical practitioner as well as for the dental practitioners. The free flow skilled labor could be a challenging, or maybe it is the opportunity for the Indonesians. Because in this scandal, we can see that we should facilitate the issuance of visas and employment passes for the Asian profession and skilled labor. Then by the end of this year, we should facilitating the free flow of services. So it's working towards the harmonization and standardization. Now, just looking at the Asian population profile, there is not some big difference among 10 countries in Asia. Indonesia is almost similar to Vietnam as well as for the Malaysia in terms of the population profile. Then the most important things that we have ratified the ASEAN's MRA. At the time, by the year of 2008, the AFTA only covered free flow of goods, but now expanding to the skilled labor as well as for the capital. The Asian Framework Agreement on Service, which is targeted this year and for another 5 years by the end of 2020, there are 5 professional services which will be collaborated: medical, dentist, nurse, accountant, architect, surveyor, engineer. Then the most important thing for the medical care providers is Asian market provisions should be registered competence from the country of origin and recognized by the host countries where the foreign practitioner will be working. The Asian MLA, which has already signed by the end of 2012, there is a special commitment negotiation among the Asian countries. Number 1 is qualified recognition. Number 2, core competencies, equalization, and ethical legal aspect involving the authority, including the professional organizations. The most important thing that if you're looking at data from the Asian countries, each country has their own domestic regulation, which is very strict. Even we can say this is protected from the foreign healthcare providers. Let's say, looking at this one, by implemented the Asian MRA for the medical and dental, we should provide exchange information, facilitating the mobility, including the registration to the authority. This registration, of course, could be used as national guarantee of legality of medical practice. Let's say, in terms of Indonesia, we have the Indonesian Medical Council as well as the Ministry of Health. Just to remember that the MRA is not agreement, it is just only arrangement because a lot of things to be prepared. Then so far the MRA facilitating capacity building among the countries in terms of what equal certifications for all Asian member countries. This is very interesting publication regarding the globalization for the health, especially in Asian region. If you're looking at here, the health tourism has already a big issues in some countries. In Malaysia, let's say, they have a revenue of $40 million of 100,000 patients coming from abroad and 60% coming from Indonesia. Even in Singapore with 400 million revenues, $420 million, more than 200,000 patients coming from abroad. almost half coming from Indonesia. Thailand is the exception because they got revenues more than 400 million US dollars, but mostly it's coming from the Far East, it's not coming from the Asian countries. How about the health price comparisons among the Asian countries? If you're looking at the price of cabbage, let's say in Malaysia it's about 6,000, and 7,000 is almost similar with Indonesia. It's about 6 to 7,000 US dollars. But in Singapore, it will be expensive. So, and these are showing that the healthcare services for parent patients, there is a competitive advantage in terms of providing healthcare service for parent patients. Singapore and Thailand, of course, they got an advantage in terms of service as well as the high-tech hardware compared to the Malaysia. So these two countries really for the AFTA so far. How about the Indonesian health system? Two things to be considered. Number one is regarding to the healthcare provider. Total number of healthcare providers is still not appropriate. And secondly, is regarding to the maldistributions of the healthcare providers in Indonesia. So that's why we know the terms of technology gap for the Indonesian doctors as well as the dentists. Number two is the international certification gap, and also including the language gap. This is should be considered to be reformed and restructured. Otherwise, this technical gap will be a big problem for us towards the AFTA. How about the populations? By the end of 2025, there will be another 20 million people. So mostly for the elderly. What does it mean? It means that the non-communicable disease will be increased over the next 10 years because of the elderly person will be doubling by the end of 2025. The other problems for Indonesians healthcare is regarding to the low and inequitable distributed spending. We only spend 1% from the GDP, looking at this data. So compared to other countries, it is relatively low, even if we compare to the Thailand, Malaysia, or other countries in the Asian members. How about the universal coverage? The universal coverage, which has already implemented by 2015, we only cover 120 million people. Then it will be expanded to 250 million by the end of 2019. But the thing that is still takes time for another 5 years. Another important thing should be considered for the readiness of the AFTA is regarding to the maldistribution of the healthcare providers. Most of the doctors was concentrated in the big city as well as in the three big island, Java, Sumatra, and as well as the Sulawesi. But we know a lot of problems in terms of the lack of the healthcare provider in the eastern part of Indonesia. How about the cardiologists? So far we have up to 600 cardiologists working in these countries. But unfortunately 75 to 80% was concentrated in Java Island. Then if you looking at the fact the 600 compared to 250 million people is not enough, of course. If looking at the American part, you see from the common 1 to 100,000. So let's say 1 to 100 for 200,000, we need at least 840 50 cardiologists. So in an assumption of we have a prediction of 100 new cardiologists, we need for another 9 years, meaning that by the end of 2025. So this is the problem for the cardiologists. So what is the challenges? Okay, I would like to summarize this one. Number one is spending small proportion of GDP, only 1%. It will be limited the accessibility to lack of medical service. And of course, it has an impact on quality of medical service. Number two, total number of medical staff is not appropriate for the huge populations. And the maldistribution of medical staff, which is considered mostly concentrated in Java, as well as quality of medical services regarding to the competence of medical staff and nurse. How about the most important stakeholder from the Indonesian medical associations? The Indonesian Medical Association chairman is very clear that refused all of the liberalization on health sector. They refused the AFTA, right? And it's supported by the other professional society because the reason is about the sovereignty of the nations. In view of health sector problems, so Indonesia should solve their own problems. If you're looking at lessons learned from Japan, so far until right now, there is a strict regulations that there is no foreign healthcare providers in Japan except Japanese. And then the most important thing is the government should improve the national health system, then strengthening all of the domestic regulation to protect from foreign medical practitioners. So what should we do? Based on our, that I previously mentioned, that we should improve national health system, involving all of the stakeholders, not only the government, but the NGOs as well as the professional associations. Increase the budget, not 1% is not enough, right? Then it is, of course, will have an impact in terms of the better quality of medical services. Number 3 is to improve quality of medical services, focus on medical educations, strengthening competence of medical staff by CPD and so on, strict regulation for medical registration or re-registration by the Indonesian Medical Council, and diminish the tenure gap, limit gap, international certification gap. Number 4 is strengthening domestic regulations, which is based on domestic market mechanisms. So, the domestic regulation that I would like to explain here, a lot of regulation that has already been provided by the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Labor, Indonesian Medical Council, and so on. But you should remember that each ASEAN countries have their own domestic regulation, which is very strict. Let's say in Philippines or in Malaysia, it's very strict for foreign practitioners who would like to practice in their own country. Even in Thailand, it's very, very, very strict compared to our regulations. If you're looking at these regulations, the Ministry of Health regulation is very strict for the foreign, sorry, it's not translating into the English. Just to show that very strict regulations to allow the foreign practitioners. One of them is what the most important should be re-registration, re-evaluate, as well as they should pass the Indonesian language test. Then only certain healthcare facilities should be low for the foreign practitioners. This is all of the regulations regarding to the foreign healthcare providers in Indonesia. And this is the flow chart for the registration. It is not easy, of course. It should be based on the medical services or transfer of knowledge, as well as for the charity, as well as and then for the research. So, ladies and gentlemen, may I conclude my talks? Number 1, the Asian Free Trade Area will be implemented toward the Asian Economic Community by the end of this year, with the consequences of the liberalization of the health sectors, in which provide free flow capital as well as skilled labor in this region. Indonesian national health system so far is not in optimal condition toward the AEC. Looking at the data, low of health budget, lack and maldistribution of health provider, as well as relatively low quality of health service so far. We need a strong effort from all stakeholders, government, medical society, and so on, to improve national health system, increasing health budget, improving medical education, increasing the number of healthcare providers, as well as the competence of health providers, and strengthening of domestic regulations as others Asian members countries do. We have a strict regulation in terms of foreign provider, but just remember, it's just temporary, and it is only last measures. The most important thing is the proposal coming from the Indonesian Medical Association is limited practice policy, meaning that only allowing certain and rare foreign provider, meaning that it is a certain and rare specialist which is available in domestic market. Thank you very much for your attention.